Well, that is the absolute perfect way to bounce back to the midweek disappointment against Sporting Lisbon. Yes, we wife win. Arsenal beating Crystal Palace 4-1 in entertaining fashion at the Emirates to go 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. We now head into an international break. We can refocus our minds and get going again for 10 massive finals to win this Premier League and bring a parade to North London. I thought the boys played really well today. Really, really well. Especially in adverse conditions. I mean, playing 120 minutes and then losing on penalties in heartbreaking fashion at home is never easy, but we bounced back really well. That's a sign of top team. I've said it before. When you lose a game, you need to bounce back. You need to nip that in the bud. You can't show any sign of weakness. I've been critical of Arsenal. For example, when we lost to Man City in the FA Cup, we went then to lose to Everton, then dropped points to Brentford, then lost to Man City. We showed a weakness. Really, the top teams, when they lose, the next game, they take it out on the opponent. They treat that opponent like a punching bag, taking out all their depression, all their frustration, all their anger on the next team. And we did that today. We really put Crystal Palace to the sword. Yeah, they got a goal and they made it a little bit nervous for about 5 minutes, especially when Zaha almost scores. But other than that, I thought we were in complete control of the game and deservedly got the 3 points and got 4 goals and really put on the show for the Emirates faithful. Some standout performances today were, firstly, Bukayo Saka. First player in the Premier League to reach double-digit goals and assists. 12 goals, 10 assists, 2 goals today. Influential throughout. Really good performance, man. Really enjoyed watching him play football today. Overall, I think our tight manoeuvres in those wide areas has greatly improved. I remember watching us against Brentford, for example. And when we got to those wide areas, we kind of didn't know what to do. We slowed down and it was like playing to Ødegaard or back to Ben White and then recycling or moving it to the other side of the pitch. Both our first 2 goals came from really smart manoeuvres in those wide areas, playing really nice interchanging stuff, a brilliant tricky ball through the defence and cutting them open. Brilliant again, and Saka scored a great second goal for us. Also, I thought Ødegaard in there was influential. How many times do I have to say it? Good things happen when Martin Ødegaard gets on the football. He's our maestro. We give him the ball and we let him cook. And when he cooks up a 5-star gourmet meal, man. Again, influential throughout. Chasing down loose balls as well. The first one to put his hands up and get the crowd going. Loved his performance again today. Ben White as well. That whole right side was really good, man. Ben White, we're going to need him big time. Big time. Especially given what's happened with the Tomiyasu injury. Saliba injured as well. The defence is even more important. They're going to be pushed to their limits. It was nice to see players like Kivior get on the pitch, Tierney get on the pitch. Because not only is it resting the likes of Gabriel Zinchenko a little bit, giving them less time on the pitch, you never know when you need to call on them. You don't want to thrust them into the team when there's like, I don't know, they've had 5 minutes all season. You want to at least give them some minutes on the pitch now to get them a bit more adjusted, a bit more acclimated to the pace of the Premier League. So that then when they do get put in the team, it's not like their debut, for example. So I think Arteta was good management there to bring certain players onto the pitch like Kivior, like Tierney with a good amount of time. But Ben White, really good again today, man. That whole right side, brilliant. I don't like all this disrespect on Ben White's name, man. Everyone keeps saying, oh, Ben White, good run of form. He's playing really well right now. He's had a good run of form for 8 months. He's played really well the whole season. That's not a good form anymore. That's a good player. For me, good form is 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month if you're pushing it. A good player is someone that's been on form for 8 months, the whole season. That's what Ben White's been doing. He's a good player, a top player, nearing world class because he's put in consistent performances week in, week out. I'm sorry he's not a Brazilian. I'm sorry he came from Brighton and not a top club like a Real Madrid, for example. He's a top player, Ben White, and he's shown it again today. Brilliant performance in there, man. Brilliant balance of attack and defence. A brilliant player that knows how to read the football game. Good again today. Zinchenko, other side, really good. I think his defensive game today was really well done as well. He was obviously going to be put under the cosh a little bit with Michael Lise. He's a bit of a tricky customer on the right-hand side. But did really well to deal with him. Made good tackles at the right time. And really kind of made Lise quite quiet, actually, when he's one of their more dangerous players. Oh yeah, and Ben White kept Zaha quiet as well, which is no mean feat. So big up Ben White for that. In the middle of the park, Xhaka, really good, filling in those half spaces, what we're used to him doing. Got a goal as well today, just like the one against Sporting Lisbon. Nice to see him back on the score sheet. Thomas Partey, we know he's like Mr. Octopus. Everyone, anywhere, collecting all the loose balls, keeping it ticking over. Good performance again today. Don't want to see him get injured anymore. And then the front three did their bit, man. Jesus even came on for some minutes as well. We'll need him for the rest of the season. Really good overall. Really proud of how the team responded. We've now got an international break. It's really good because when you're playing week in, week out, you don't really have time to like assess what's going on. You're just taking every game as it goes. It can be a good thing because you've got all the momentum. But also, sometimes you just need to sit back and analyse and see the bigger picture. We can take the international break. A lot of players won't be going. Some players will, but a lot of players won't be going on the international break. And you can sit there and you can go, have a couple of days rest and go, right, 10 games left. We've got the plan. We've got the blueprint to win this Premier League trophy. We're 8 points clear of a game. Well, we've played our game in hand. City got a game in hand on us. We can look at it and go, that is 10 finals. That is 10 blockbuster matches. We dedicate ourselves for 10 more games, 900 more minutes, and we can lift the Premier League title in May. And we can bring home one of the most unexpected titles and well-deserved titles in seasons gone by. No one would have thought Arsenal would be near a title race if you looked at last season. But we can pull off an extraordinary one. And our fans deserve it, our players deserve it, and the staff deserve it. But nothing is given and nothing is taken for granted. You have to earn it. And these boys are 10 games away from thoroughly earning a Premier League trophy. Let's talk about the player ratings now. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. Really good game. Really, really good game in there. I'm going to give Ramsdale 7 out of 10. Couldn't do much on the goal. That being said, as a team, we do need to defend better on corners because a lot of teams will come to the Emirates and their game plan will be to score on corners. So we can't show any vulnerability from set pieces. But overall, I thought Ramsdale had a really good game in there today. 7 out of 10. Right back, Ben White. As I said, one of his great games. 8.5 out of 10. Really good. Locked up Zaha well. Getting forward at good moments. Brilliant passes at the right time. Great performance from Ben White. Next in, Rob Holding. I was worried about him coming in. And to be fair, still, I know he played well today. Rob Holding can play well in one-off games. It's a consistency thing that worries it for me. I don't want to see him play 4 or 5 games in a row because I doubt he can pull out a world-class performance in those 4 or 5 games in a row. It's not going to happen. So today, played really well. We might see him against Leeds, but against Liverpool, I want Saliba back. That being said, today, Holding, 8 out of 10. Really good performance. Gabriel next to him as well. Really good, 8 out of 10 as well. It was really good as Gabriel because I think he helped Holding get through that game. He was really calming presence. I remember a couple seasons back, or even last season a bit, when it was Gabriel and Holding literally in that team. Gabriel was still new to the Premier League and he felt a little bit exposed. Now he's got more confidence. He's had a few more years in the Premier League. He's a much better defender than Holding. He's able to marshal Holding through those games. Holding's not a young kid, don't get me wrong, but he's still not a top player to the likes of Gabriel or Saliba. So he did really well getting Gabriel today. Zinchenko as well, man. Zinchenko, really good performance. Not just going forward, as I said earlier in this video, going back as well. He showed the defensive side to his game, slide tackling at the right moments, know when to go forward, know when to go back. He's a winner, won 4 Premier Leagues, looking to make it 5. He's that player you want in the dressing room, and today another top performance from Zinchenko, 8 out of 10. Moving into the middle, Thomas Partey, also an 8 out of 10. I feel like I've got the same analysis for this guy every week. Picking up the ball at the right times, knowing when to intercept the play, and moving it forward. Proper type of CDM, really need him in that team. No more getting injured, Mr. Thomas Partey. In the middle as well, Granit Xhaka, 8 out of 10. Been critical of him in recent weeks, not today though. Really good goal, influential throughout, likes to get forward, looked even better when Jesus came on the pitch as well. Really like Granit Xhaka, man. Really that type of box-to-box player. Really need him to keep his form up because we've got 10 massive games left and him being a leader on that pitch will help. Really will help. Moving forward, Martin Odegaard. What more do I have to say about this guy, man? Captain, talisman, chasing down loose balls, getting the fans fired up, knowing when to receive it, getting his foot stuck in at times. Such a good player, such a good performance again today. 8 out of 10. Bukayo Saka, my man the match. 9 out of 10. 2 goals. Best right winger on the planet right now. Argue amongst yourselves. So good again today. Gabriel Martinelli as well. 8 out of 10. Hey, I mean, since the World Cup, he hasn't been on the best of form, but he scored again today. And for me, when you play against teams like Palace, same against Leeds next week, when they're going to try and frustrate you, the first goal counts as 2 in many ways. Because it gets the ball rolling, it starts to get you firing on all cylinders. And Martinelli got us kick-started with a brilliant goal, man. Tough finish on his left foot, away from the goal, away from the goalkeeper. But got it right into that corner. Brilliant finish. And Trossard through the middle as well, 7.5 out of 10. One of his more quiet games, but overall, I thought he was still a little busybody, getting himself stuck in and got a good amount of rest as well because Jesus came on. But overall, really good performance from Arsenal. 4-1 win. Wanted to see how we bounce back to that disappointment in midweek to Sporting Lisbon, which is exactly what we need to do. At the end of the day, that loss against Sporting Lisbon could be a blessing in disguise if it means we're able to win the Premier League in May. As always, if you're new and you love Arsenal-related content, this is a place for you. Make sure you subscribe down below on my road to 2,000 subscribers. Let me know your thoughts on the match as well as your thoughts on whether you believe Arsenal will win the Premier League this season. I've been waiting for him to see you all in my next video.